So, you want to become smart. Most of the world tells you that achieving true intelligence takes a grueling 12 years of school, followed by 4 years of college, and then another 6 years of graduate school. By the end of all that, you're expected to emerge as a beacon of knowledge and success. Yet for many, the reality is far less glamorous. Instead of thriving, you might find yourself buried under debt or struggling to make ends meet. Ironically, you'll be well equipped to articulate your struggles on Reddit, flawlessly in perfect English. But here's the kicker. Becoming smart isn't actually that complicated. Forget the myths about innate ability or the belief that your genetics dictate your capacity for intelligence. The truth is, compared to almost any other species on Earth, humans are incredibly overpowered. The problem lies in how we approach learning. When people like you and me say we want to get smarter, we're usually aiming for a few specific things. We want to learn practical skills, especially those that can earn us money. We want to become adept at solving problems, ideally for profit or personal satisfaction. We aim to excel in academics to unlock better opportunities or simply to prove a point. And, let's be honest, many of us want to impress others just enough to earn respect, but not so much that we're dismissed as insufferable nerds. The issue is that most advice out there is either overly philosophical or frustratingly generic. You'll find people suggesting vague concepts like develop a growth mindset or become a lifelong learner. Sure, these ideas are valuable, but they're not actionable. On the flip side, the practical tips often feel like they were ripped from the pages of a self-help cliché generator. Eat brain food like blueberries, drink black coffee, exercise regularly, or get 8 hours of sleep every night. While these habits can contribute to better mental health and focus, they won't magically make you smarter. History shows that even some of the most brilliant minds thrived under circumstances far from ideal, subsisting on a few hours of sleep, fueled by sheer passion and determination. So what's the real secret to getting smarter? It's much simpler than you might think. Read. Reading is the gateway to expanding your knowledge, improving your critical thinking, and gaining insights you can apply to real life. But not all reading is created equal. Fiction, for example, is fantastic for building empathy, enhancing your vocabulary, and improving your reading speed. It can even provide a sense of connection through relatable characters and dialogue. However, if your goal is to acquire knowledge that you can casually drop into conversations or use in practical ways, nonfiction is where you should focus. Imagine this scenario. You're chatting with someone and they casually say, "It's wild how we evolved from chimpanzees." Instead of smugly correcting them with a, "Well, actually," you could respond with something more engaging. For example, "Yeah, it's fascinating, right? I was reading that humans didn't evolve from chimpanzees directly, but shared a common ancestor and developed alongside them. Isn't that incredible?" This approach not only demonstrates your knowledge but also invites dialogue, making you approachable rather than intimidating. Finding good books to read is easier than ever. Start by identifying a topic you're curious about, anything from history to personal finance to DIY projects. A quick online search will yield countless options. And while many of these books come with a price tag, let's just say there are ways to access them without breaking the bank. The point is to start reading and absorbing knowledge bit by bit. The next step is critical: practice. Your brain is like a filter. It only retains information it considers useful. For example, if you're reading a book about cleaning and you immediately apply what you've learned by tidying up a room, your brain solidifies that information. On the other hand, if you don't act on the knowledge, it's likely to fade away. For skills that aren't immediately practicable, visualization can be an excellent tool. Let's say you're reading about how to jumpstart a car. Even if you don't have two cars to practice on, you can imagine the process step by step. Watch a video, visualize yourself performing the task, and mentally rehearse the situation. This tricks your brain into treating the information as relevant and useful. This principle extends to traditional education as well. Think about exams and tests. They're essentially designed to create an artificial sense of urgency, convincing your brain that the material is important. Repetition, spaced learning, and study techniques like mind mapping can be helpful, but nothing beats the effectiveness of practice problems. Simulating real-world scenarios or creating high-stakes situations in your imagination can make a huge difference. Picture yourself dangling from a cliff with your survival depending on your ability to recall all the parts of a human cell. The stakes might be imaginary, but the learning is real. For those serious about mastering a subject, textbooks are unbeatable. While they might not be as entertaining as a YouTube video, they're incredibly efficient. Textbooks strip away the fluff and provide dense, structured information, along with exercises that test your understanding. They're not for the faint of heart, but if you're committed, they're invaluable. And yes, there are ways to access textbooks online for free. Just be mindful of how you obtain them. Ultimately, the formula for getting smarter is straightforward. Learn actively, practice consistently, and apply what you've learned. The more you engage with information, the more it sticks. And remember, being smart isn't just about acquiring knowledge. It's about knowing how to share it effectively without alienating others. So, keep learning, keep practicing, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Your support helps us create more content that empowers you to become the best version of yourself.